So this is my intervention sessions, my OT in a quarantine world video. So I'm going to walk you through some objects that I found around my house that I can use in treatment for Emma. Emma is 13 years old and she has a diagnosis of Down syndrome, and she also has a hole in her heart. So that kind of reduces her endurance and everything when she's doing tasks. And the Down syndrome, really, she's doing great in her gross motor and everything else, but her fine motor skills are not doing so well, and it's putting a burden on her school tasks because she can't manipulate small items. So that was one of our goals for OT. And she also has a pet dog, and it's her chore to feed the dog every day, and she does forget some of that to do that sometimes. And we're also working on weighting and social participation in the classroom setting, so she doesn't blur out answers that she's gotten in trouble for a couple times. So for my first OT in a quarantine world session, I have nail polish that she can use to paint nails with her friends, her family, really anybody that's going to work on that grasp and that twisting using their fine motor skills, which I can't even open it. But to do that and then just paint the nail, it really works on that precision that she needs. Plus, it's an enjoyable activity for her. It really would provide a strong bonding activity with friends, family, and she also likes to wear jewelry a lot, so this is kind of jewelry for your nails. So, yeah, stay tuned for some more. So this is one of my adaptive treatments for making dog treats. I already put the flour and everything into it, but it has molasses, water, cinnamon, whole wheat flour, and ginger. But this is kind of like a hard, kind of like Play-Doh-y. But I was using the spoon to mix it, and it wasn't working. So I'm using my hands instead. And this is really working on the fine motor grasp and the strength in the hands to mix it together. And this would work for my client because she has a fine motor deficit, and she also has a pet dog that she is responsible for feeding. So this would work for her in our treatment sessions because it's something that she would enjoy doing, and it has to do with her responsibility of taking care of the dog, and it's really working her fine motor skills. That was part of our goals. So what we would do is we would make the recipe together, and then I would show her how to mix it together by squeezing it, and then I would let her go in and squeeze it herself, and it's going to have this crumbly kind of effect to it, but it is very hard to mix together with your fingers. My fingers are getting tired, so I would help her out with that. And then we would also use the rolling pin, and this whole process of making the dog treats works on her problem solving skills and her cognition. It's molasses all stuck together. But this would be a really great way to help her out with the fine motor skills and the fine motor strength building. So my next object that I can use for at-home treatments is a dog and a dog collar. Emma has a dog at her house, so it would be reasonable for that to work. And she wants to work on putting on and taking off jewelry. So we're going to take off and put on the dog collar, if my dog will work with me. So we're going to take it off, really work on those fine motor skills. And then once we have it off, we're going to put it back on. Now Emma's dog is more relaxed because I think it's a golden retriever. So that would work a little better. So then we're gonna put on the dog collar by putting it through. All right, hold on. So we're gonna put on the dog collar. Mina, stop. Thank you. We're gonna poke it through the hole. And we got it on. Now we just have to put it through the rest of the hardware here. We can also do this on a stuffed dog to make it a little easier if the real live dog doesn't want to cooperate. And we're done. There you go. So for my third object to use with Emma that I found around my house is this little game. I don't exactly know what it's called, but I made it in tech class in high school. So you're gonna like use the fine motor skills to pick out the golf tees. The object of the game is to skip over tees and you can remove them. And you want to get down to having one tee left, which I can never do, so we'll see how far I can get. But it works on Emma's patience because she has to put the tees into the correct holes and work on the fine motor skills that she can also use in the classroom. And it will also, she can do it with other people. They can take turns, so it can work on her waiting skills so she won't get as frustrated in the classroom. And well, I got 5 left because you can't skip anymore. So there's that. And then to put it back together, she'll have to pick up the golf tees and put them in using her hands. You can also use the non-dominant hand, which I'm not as good at. So she can take her non-dominant hand and place the golf tees into the game. That one's a little sticky. There you go. We also start with one out first. We just have an extra golf tee. So another intervention that I can do with Emma is play a board game, and I have the board game of life here. So with the board game of life, there's a fine motor grasp to spin the wheel and to put in the little people into the cars and move them around the board as so. It also works on patience and waiting her turn and not getting frustrated, to work on in classroom activities. It works on some money management ideas for her after graduation. Clearly I'm not doing too hot right now. There's my brothers, and the fine motor of picking up these tiles and some math skills along with it as well.